Well, here we are. So that was a little bit of a fiasco,
What
but
fiasco? I don't know what you're talking about. Good
so
evening. How are you?
yeah, I'm doing fabulous. But anyway, I will try to figure out how we can stream together and be live. But this will do for now. I am loving Zoom and spending lots of time on Zoom. My girls and I have a wind down Friday on Zoom since we've all been closing. Cheers. um, so anyway, just wanted to, I just mentioned on there, that just wanted to give great content and just great, just really give back to the community. And I know that's your heart as well, Becky. So just really wanted to talk about, we can't change what we can't control. We can't change what we get, but we can change what we give. And so, anyway, so that kind of thing. So I'm going to turn it over to you, and you tell me kind of some of your thoughts and some ways that you're kind of navigating through this crazy COVID-19 time and that kind of thing.
Awesome. Well, I first of all want to say thank you because I think I've been having my eyebrows done by you for more than 10 years.
I love
I'm
it.
pretty sure we figured that out. And while they're beautiful, they're not quite as beautiful as normal because of COVID-19.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, that's because I'm using a pencil, which I hate to use, but oh well, it'll work. So,
Soon, love. We'll get back to it.
you know what? And it's better than nothing.
That's right.
So what am I complaining about? I look around my house and I lack for nothing.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, this is inconvenient and it's not our normal. It's not as much fun, but I do think that it makes you dig a little deeper into what's important to you and makes you realize that sometimes life throws you a curveball and you've got to figure out a way to be positive, be that light like you are for so many, and
Thank you.
and move towards that. So, there's I am in the healthcare industry. I think it's been very challenging. I'm not a nurse. I'm not on the forefront, but I do sell hospice, and so I work with a lot of nurses. And there's been several things that we've been doing to keep our mind fresh and keep our mind right. And I'd love to share some of those things if this is
Absolutely.
a
Please.
good thing. You talked earlier about giving and being able to offer things to people that still, I mean, I think at the end of the day, as women, we're nurturers and we naturally feel like we have to help take care of people and do as much as we can for them. And even though I can't do as much as I would like, even the little that I am doing makes me feel better. And and that's and I think most people appreciate that. So a couple things that I've been doing is first of all, um, I know it's not much. Let me see if I can't take this out. I actually already sprayed it with Lysol. I don't know if you can see this, but it's a homemade, how can I see that?
Oh, yeah.
It's a homemade mask
Look at
for
you
a
go,
nurse.
girl.
And it takes a little bit of time because there's no elastic. When I first started making them, elastic was $108 and it would take till May 15th to get it from China. So I started making the kind with ties, and they also have a pocket for a filter. So it just made me feel good to be
I
able
love
to do
it.
something.
I love
So
it.
I'm dropping them off for nurses. I'm even putting their name on it. So that they feel special, and it's kind of like right down here, so when they're talking to a patient, they're going to see that and know. But I've been making all kinds of different colors, and I've really just been using scraps that were in my closet, because
that,
every
Becky.
seamstress has lots of
Yeah,
fabric.
that's great.
um,
Great
so
idea.
that's one thing. I've also been trying to make meals for the nurses and the social workers that are all putting in massive hours, and calling them and surprising them and saying, hey, I know it's 5:15. Have you left the building yet? and I had meals ready to go. And I said, just hang tight for 5 minutes. I'll be right
I
there.
love it.
And I went and dropped off meals for them, and it just made them feel special. And that was my intent, is they're putting in a lot of hours right now, and they're trying to help, especially the senior community,
Mhm.
um, not be depressed and not be lonely, because there's so many, their family members can't go see them right now. And
Mhm.
so, when I feel like I'm sad because I can't go see my kids,
Mhm.
they don't live here. So not, I'm not around my kids. And as a
Mhm.
mom,
It hurts.
yes, it does. I mean, there's some days you're okay with that, but most
Right.
days
Today
you
was one of
don't.
those days, love.
I
Today was one of
know.
those days. I would have been happy to not be
To trade
around my
places.
teenager boy.
But there are most days when, you just, and as well as I do, this is a season of your life, and every teenager goes through that. And once they get on the other side of it and they realize all that you did to pour into them and be their mom and take care of them and put dinners on the table, then that's when they really appreciate it. And it's so much more, it's just such a meaningful relationship with your
Mm,
kids when they're older, and they do appreciate that. So, um, but you know, you really turned me on to Brene Brown,
she's
who
amazing.
is one of my favorite people to
I
listen
know,
to.
right?
And so I wanted to share a couple things that, like, listening to things makes me feel better,
Mhm.
and it also makes me focus and on things that are not related to what I can't do, but that are related to things that I can do. Because focusing on things that we can't do is just going to make us more depressed. So, and I'm kind of like a rabbit right now. So I've got like
It's
three
okay.
different thoughts going through my head right now. So I'm going to try to narrow it down. So, first of all, I had the privilege today of listening to a musical therapist and our bereavement counselor,
Mm,
who, once a week, we all get on a Zoom and we all visit about what are the challenges that we're facing and how can we lift each other up. But the musical therapist today had us all, she played beats of a drum to 4 beats at a time, and
mhm,
then four more beats, and then four more beats. And she had us breathe in 4 beats, hold our breath for 4 beats, let it out for 4 beats, and then just rest for 4 beats, and then
mm,
do it all again. And it's called a box. I think it's called box breathing,
mm.
and it's really to help you focus and to, like, I realized it took at least 3 sets before I realized that my shoulders were still up like this
Yes,
and
yes.
that I needed to relax. So
Yeah,
it took me
I can feel myself like, "Push your shoulders down.
it took me
Breathe."
4 times of that, right? But
Right,
you don't even realize as you're going through that therapy session that it's like, wow, I didn't even realize I was tense
right. Can't
until
help
I
but be
stopped.
tense right now, yeah.
Yes. And so just doing that, and then she played a flute and had us do the same thing. And there's no reason why all of us can't take a few minutes each day, and maybe you do it, every couple of hours or every 3, 4 hours. Stop and take a minute to
Mm,
take deep breaths and
yeah,
refocus your mind. And
yeah,
and then the other thing that she said, let me see if I wrote it down. Hang on.
yeah.
Um,
I think
she said,
mindset is key.
it is. She said, focus on the things that you want to let go, give it wings, and let it fly.
I love it. I love
And
it.
so,
You just reminded me, I
visually,
was on a Zoom training call with my mastermind group, I guess it was yesterday, and she made us write down 10 things that 6 months ago we were tolerating in life. In life, in business, in relationships, 10 things that you were tolerating. Let me tell you, that was eye opening. Like 10 things that you were just tolerating.
I have to write
So,
this down
yeah, it was
because
good.
I think that's something that you need to take time to do.
And
And
not, yeah,
um,
We
Right.
shouldn't be tolerating
So
things. We
Brene
should be
Brown,
thriving.
exactly. If you're making excuses, it, every once in a while I find myself making an excuse, and I realize if I'm making excuses, I'm in survival mode.
Hmm.
I'm not, as my friend Martha Gurman says, I'm not thriving.
Right.
I'm not, when you're thriving, everything's
Yes.
clicking. You're going from one thing to
Yes.
another. And even in today, uh, you know, w- we're in a new normal. We all have a
Yeah.
new normal.
Hmm.
What we do in that new normal can still impact us positively or negatively. And what I'm doing right now in making some masks or making some meals isn't, if I'm not reaching out to case managers and to people that can impact my business and making sure that I'm calling enough people so that I get some of those referrals,
Hmm.
I'm not going to have the referrals that I need to be contributing to my company. And
Right.
so at the end of the day, I've got to still be making those calls. But I think right now people need to know you care. And
Yes.
if they know you care and that we're all in this together.
Right. And
Y-
I think my mind has kind of changed because I can't see people face to face. I can't hug necks right now. They can't know that I'm okay or not okay, or that I can't reassure people that they're okay or they're not okay. And so I think that's why I felt so strongly about going live and doing some videos is people need to, we can't disappear in despair, right? We
No,
have to
no,
be shown. We have to show that it's okay. We're still here. We still have something to give you. We still have something to offer. And when this is all over, we're going to hug all the necks we can, as long as it's safe. And we're going to, we're going to get right back to it. So I love all
right.
the things. I love all the things that you're doing, Becky, and I love your heart.
Well, thank you. I feel the same way about you. You know that. One of the things that I want people to hear this too, because I think we're so afraid. Fear is our enemy. There's no doubt about it, and it stops us from going after our goals. It stops us. The fear of failure, the fear of success,
Right.
just
What
fear
I'll
in
look like
general.
failing in front
Yeah,
of people,
right.
Facebook Live.
Hey, hey, we're gonna make it happen. It just might not be. Like we might not be able to respond to you know
Messages,
the
right? Yeah.
messages, right, because
It's
we're
okay.
we're done. But guess what? We're still gonna make it happen.
That's right.
So and we'll figure this out. I mean, we'll
We
get it
will.
figured out. But one of the other things I was listening to today, i- in with Brene Brown. Brene Brown has a podcast, and it's called Unlocking Us, I think is the name of it. And she talks about how just in the last few weeks she started this podcast, and that they have what's called can I say this? I'm not going to say this, but FFT. You can figure out what the first F stands for. It's a bad word. First time. So, or let's say terrible first time, TFT. Okay, how about
Right.
that? That anytime you're doing something for the first time, it's
Hmm.
scary and it's
Right.
hard, and you don't know what's going to happen, and
Hmm.
uh, and that doing it was. She said, first of all, just naming it.
Hmm.
And recognizing that calling it out like just makes you go, oh, okay, well this is the first time, so let's just figure this out. Like we're afraid because we don't really know, and then having some perspective on it, and then just doing it anyway,
Right.
and learning through that journey. And I think as women we're hard on ourselves because
Oh
we
my gosh.
expect,
So
right?
hard.
we're,
Hmm.
we are. We're the first ones to be hard on ourselves, and we're the last ones to be hard on ourselves, and we're the middle ones to be hard on ourselves.
Exactly. Well, and you just
And
reminded me, we all know that statement, courage is not the absence of fear. It's fearing doing it anyway, right? Being
exactly.
scared, to death and
Right.
walking through and doing it anyway.
Yeah. The other one that I would highly recommend that people listen to is called Untamed by Glenna. I can't remember Glenna's last name. Oh my gosh. She was so fantastic. I
It's a
wrote
podcast, a new
It's a
podcast.
podcast,
Hmm.
with Brene. Brene did it, and I took so many pages of notes. I mean, it was unbelievable how many pages of notes I took.
I
I was
love it.
trying to get to like a couple of the
Don't
notes,
you?
but they were
I,
amazing.
I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I turned you on to podcasting.
Yes, you did.
And
You taught me how to podcast, how to
it's
listen to a
it's
podcast.
addicting, isn't it? Like, it's addicting. Like, I called my sister-in-law, or I texted her today, and I was like, "Are you listening to podcasts?" Because she owns a small business in Massachusetts. She's an attorney, and she was having some issues with, like,
Yes,
whatever.
life.
And so I said, you need to listen to this podcast with Chris Plackey. It's called Building My Team. And it's just an amazing podcast, and the perspective that she gives on building. So anyway, that I digress. Chased a rabbit there for a
Well,
second.
no, you didn't. I mean, really, it's all about, what are you, um, what are you doing to consciously choose to move forward and to build in this crisis,
Right.
because it's not the same as it was 2 months ago. It's not even the same as it was 3 weeks ago. And 4 weeks from now, who knows
It
what
might
it'll
not
be
be the
like?
same again. We might have to
No,
recreate ourselves. We might have to
exactly.
completely do things differently.
Yep, we just might. So, but at the end of the day, I want to show up completely, and
Yes.
I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to be the best version of myself, to be the
Yes.
best person that I can
Yeah.
be, and that's what I appreciate so much about you as well,
Oh,
is that you we you need friends like that who challenge you to not settle.
right.
So, what kinds of things do you do? Like, what is your favorite podcast?
Oh my
Do you have a
gosh.
favorite?
Well, let me see. Chris Plackey is one, but that's for female entrepreneurs.
Is that
So
CHRIS or
no, it's
KRIS?
KRIS, Plackey, Plackky, I think. Love, love, love her. Like, she's a ray of sunshine. Like, the world is crumbling around, and she's like, listen, I'm in this too. I get it. Like, but she's just great. Let me see if I can pull up my podcast. I need to go through and find some new ones, because probably about every 3 months I go through and look. I have some skincare ones, obviously, that's my business. I have some esthetician ones that I follow. Um, the School of Greatness by Lewis Howes is great. Love him. Yeah, I've listened to Oprah's Super Souls. Those are pretty good. She interviews some people that are pretty good. I've got Dr. Phil on there. Fill in the blanks. He's great. He's been doing a lot of life coaching on his podcast. Like, not just the TV show type stuff, but more like life coaching. Like, what are you settling for in your life? What do you like? It's been good. I've got Tony Robbins, like, really. High Performance Habits. I've got, Rachel Hollis's Rise. I listen to her a lot. Vibrant Happy Woman is a good one.
Ooh.
Let's see, Vibrant Happy Woman. Yeah, she's good. She's been through a lot, and she had two really rebellious teenagers, and so I feel like she has a sense of, anyway.
She's very relatable.
Yeah, she's been through the ringer with some things. Yeah, those are kind of the ones, and then the other ones are like spa specific. Oh, you know who's good is Epic Success with Dr. Shannon Irvin. I think I told you about her before, but she's really good. She is a let me just see she's a neuroscientist.
Dr. What Irvin?
Shannon Irvin, and it's spelled like Irvine, Irvine. She is a neuroscientist that talks a lot about how we can actually change the neural pathways in our brain. um, by what we focus on. Very
Mm.
scientific, not, she's like, I know, people think, and she comes from a faith base too. So she's
Oh, I
one,
would love
she's
that.
like, yeah, she's one, she's like, it's not all woo woo, like, she's like, there's actual science to our brain and what we feed it and what we allow in it. And we tell our brains what to think, so subconsciously our brain wants to do fight or flight. Subconsciously it just wants us to be safe. And so that's why subconsciously entrepreneurship is scary for people, because it's not safe. um,
Right.
and you
What
have to
what does
train.
she what
What's
does
that?
she say about wine? What does wine do to your brain?
um,
Sorry.
let's move right along. um, so that is, I'm trying to think. Oh, Mel Robbins is always good. Marie Forleo, have you watched Marie Forleo? She's
No.
crazy. She's crazy. Crazy positive. But anyway, those are a few of mine and then a lot of them are beauty focused, or,
Right, your industry.
yeah.
So, how
Yeah.
fun. I listened to another great, Danelle Delgado does, Friday Night Lights, and,
Mm,
but she interviewed Jess Lee a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it was, so usually I don't listen on Friday night. I listen on Saturday morning when I run. And
mm.
so I've got to go back and listen to it a second time, but it was really fantastic about utilizing social media in your business and how to maximize. Um, and she was really a breath of fresh air. So interviewing Jess, it was awesome. So I need to go back and listen to that one. So can we have a little fun?
Yes, of
Not that we
course,
haven't been
always.
having fun up until now, but I would really love to steal from, and I'm sure she won't mind. I hope she won't mind because I'm going to give her credit, but I want to do a lightning round with you, which is what Brene Brown did with Glenna. And so I'm going to throw
This
out
is what
some
my coach would call the hot seat, probably.
the hot seat. You're in the hot seat. So,
Oh,
and we're going to have
thanks,
some fun with the
Becky.
hot
I'm so
seat.
glad I
You're going to
invited
love
you.
it. Okay, so here it is. So fill in the blank. Vulnerability is
Scary.
number two. You are called to be brave, and it's right there in the back of your throat. What's the first thing you do?
Say that again.
You are called to be brave. You're getting ready to be brave, and it's right there in the back of your throat. What's the first thing you do?
I, gut reaction as I shake and do some jumping jacks. Okay, I can do this.
Let's do it.
All right, let's
That's
go. Right?
awesome. All right. Something people often get wrong about you.
I pass. I don't know. Something people get wrong about me. I think that they judge my intention. Um, I don't know. Like I feel like so pure in my intention, and I feel so, and then somebody might see something, and not often, but um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's the only thing that kind of comes to mind.
Yeah. Okay. Last show you binged and loved.
Oh, geez, Louise. Well, we're in the midst of a crazy pandemic. Like, there's so many shows. Last show that I binged, I can't say the ones that I really loved.
Yes, you can.
I can't. I know that I'm almost 49 years old, but there are people watching that I don't want to know what I watch. Okay, let me think of one that I really liked. No, I can't. I can't tell you.
For me, it was Jack Ryan. How about that? I'll live it.
Jack
I'll let
Ryan.
you off the
Okay.
hook on that.
Yeah.
It was
I mean,
on
you know what
Amazon
I do
Prime.
binge watch that drives my husband crazy is like 2020 or Dateline murder mysteries, those kinds of things. It drives him crazy. He hates them. He's like, it's either the husband or the wife. I'm like, no, it could have been the teenager. It could have been, so I do watch
Well,
murder mysteries that drive him crazy.
I also love music. Like, so I don't know if you've seen, I mean, I really love The Voice and I love American Idol and I
Yes.
love Songland. That's,
Mm.
it is so good.
That's where they
And
write the songs to stars.
yes,
Yeah. I haven't started
yeah,
watching that one yet.
yeah. So I just love music and I know you do too. And so that's really fun. How about favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I think just favorite movie of all time is Air Force One.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Harrison
Okay.
Ford.
A concert you'll never forget.
Um, I went to the probably one of the only concerts I've ever been to, but when we first moved to Texas, I did the what was it called? The Rockin' something roadshow, and it was like 20 Christian musicians at the American
Yes.
Airlines Center, and I have never been to a concert in my entire life, and that was just a lot of fun.
Oh, wow.
So,
What is on your nightstand right now?
a journal
Awesome.
that I
A
don't use enough.
snapshot,
A what?
uh, a snapshot of your ordinary life that brings you true joy.
Well, I think during this pandemic, I've really, really enjoyed cooking.
Awesome.
Like I don't
That's
cook.
funny because I almost like before I heard Brene's lightning round, one of my questions was going to be, is there something that you found yourself baking that you didn't expect to be cooking, you
Mhm.
know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. What is something that you are deeply grateful for right now?
That I am deeply grateful for. Um, I really am deeply grateful that um, I'm deeply grateful for my husband and the way that he cares for me through all my craziness, through my anxieties with all this insanity. Um, yeah, deeply grateful for him.
Nice. That's beautiful.
Hmm.
So that's it. See, that wasn't so hard.
Yeah, well, and I'm just going to let you know, this was supposed to be me interviewing you, darling. Not quite sure how those tables got turned, but I love you to the moon. I look forward to seeing you every single month, and I just am so grateful that you have crossed my path. I can't even sometimes. I just, there's that saying that says, surround yourself with people who are better than you. You're the better than me. And I
Oh,
appreciate that. And I don't mean that, I don't mean that in a way where I'm self-deprecating. That's not what I mean. I
no,
mean, your mindset, the way you approach life, surround yourself with people who have an outlook that you want to have. Right. And
thank
so
you.
I appreciate that about you. I feel like when you come to see me, it's a little bit of therapy for me. And so
Same for me.
I love it.
And I can't wait to
Oh
come
my
back and
goodness,
see you.
girl, you will be one of the first that I call and say, we are open for business.
I really didn't think, besides my family, um, which really has been very difficult to be away from them because I don't think I've ever been away from my kids on Easter, ever,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
ever. And most of the time, I'm also with my parents because it's my mom's birthday weekend. And
Ah,
so this was probably one of the hardest. I mean, it was hard in that I didn't get to spend time with them. But I don't know if you saw my Facebook post, but I
I
dressed
did.
up
I did. I
and
saw
I
it. You in
sat
Jersey.
I did, and I sat on my back patio with in my Adirondack chair, and so that I could see all my beautiful yellow irises blooming, and my bluebonnets, and I sang outside. And there's a trail behind my little fence, and I am certain that some folks got a good laugh out of me singing praise
You
over
had
the fence.
you had Easter service by yourself.
I did, but I was all dressed up and pretty, and
I
I
love
was
it.
like, "You know what? I'm gonna present myself to God the way I would normally present myself." And it was it was a special day, and it's not one I hope I ever have to repeat, but it was necessary, and there's
Mhm.
nothing I can do about it. So I can either make the most of it or wallow, and I decided to make the most of it. So
That's right.
thank you for your friendship. Like, you are just such a special person, and I hope people see that. And I hope we can do this again because I
I do
thoroughly
too.
enjoyed it.
I think we
So
need to make it a habit.
I think so too. So
All
let's
right.
do it.
Love you, girl. I will try to figure out how to get this posted, and I will let you know.
Okay, and then real quick, for those of you that are my friends looking at this, if you're in the healthcare industry, make sure that you look at Shelly's other Facebook posts so that you can see the special that she's doing for healthcare providers, because I would love
Yes.
for some of my friends that are healthcare providers to
Yes.
be eligible for that
Yes.
prize. Because let me just tell you, once you go to Shelly and you're pampered by her, I mean, look at her face, like, it's beautiful that
Oh,
you do such fantastic work in on top of being somebody who pours into women's hearts. You also make them feel beautiful, and so I would love it if it was one of my friends that actually got to win. So you guys,
well, absolutely. So follow us on Facebook, Shelly's Advanced Skincare, or IG, Shelly's Advanced Skincare, the same, and then nominate, 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 nominate. And then on Friday, I'm going to try to pull a name.
awesome.
Love you,
Thank you
girl.
so much. Love you too.
All right.
Bye.